Hey guys, this is Jeremy from Cherokee Rose, and what we're going to do today is build a disbudding box. This thing is great, and it will save you a lot of trouble when you start disbudding your kids. It's made out of scrap. This whole thing is nothing but just scrap wood that we had lying around the shop that we've thrown together. It's a mixed match of different woods, but it works great, and it's easy to do. And everything on here, I didn't use any special tools at all to make it. And I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. We keep, while we're not using this in all season, we'll keep our disbudding iron inside. We've got, this is a test board that's been used tons and tons of times that I keep with my stuff. I keep it in here. I keep an extra pair of gloves. Use the earplugs. Sometimes we'll put our tattoo and stuff in here. So it's a good storage box as well while you're not disbudding. But basically, the way this thing works is you want to keep the baby secure whenever you're doing this, and you don't want them thrashing about. You don't want to burn yourself, and you certainly don't want to burn them. And this basically just, it makes it much quicker, much cleaner, and you can see what you're doing. I like to sit on this, and it's made out of 3/4 plywood, so you know it will hold a lot of weight. And you can sit on this, and you have full access to the top of their head here. And it's a simple design. I did it really easy, and most of these pieces on here are cut to a standard size. You can even buy them already pre-cut, except for the top and the sides, but you can buy them pre-cut, or you can have Lowe's or Home Depot or someone like that cut these panels for you, and you just cut the smaller pieces yourself. It doesn't have to be exactly straight. You know, it's not fine furniture, and you know it's easy to put together. So I hope you try one. If you have any questions, put them in the comments area. So let's get started. Okay, we've got, this is going to be the front of the box, and all this is a piece of aluminum or pot metal or something, but basically it's just a collar, and this it more or less works to hold the baby goat's head in place. So it's 3 holes here that you just bolt to the front of the little box. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut it out with a jigsaw. So all we're going to do is just set it up here, and you bring it to the very top of the box, and just with a magic marker of some sort, you just trace out the little yoke or the little area for the neck. And this is just a regular jigsaw. You can use a handsaw or whatever you wanted to use. This is probably the easiest, but it'll go fast, and you don't have to make, you know, this is not fine cut. So this is just roughing out the opening. So I'm going to cut this real quick. Alright, the hole's open, and then usually what I do is just get a little scraper or just sandpaper or anything, and just sort of scrape this rough off, and just enough to get the edges off, and then you just test it, and it's a perfect fit. Don't have to be precise, just want to make a hole. Okay, so we've got our plywood already cut out, and all we're going to do now is basically make a box. And just to help us, because I'm doing this by myself, I don't have anybody to help me hold it, so I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill some of the screw holes. And this is just a drill bit that is smaller than our screws. And what we're using for screws is these. They're just 1.25 inches long, and all they are is just drywall screws, and they work perfectly for joining this. They're easy to start, and they will not go all the way through and be sticking in the box. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill these holes. We're just putting 3 in there, and you don't have to be precise with this. You just get semi close to the edge just to make it a little easier whenever we start screwing. I've already done the back 2 sides, or the back sides. So we're going to start with the side, the front, which has the yoke cut out in it. So we're going to use a flat table of some sort. Our table saw is going to work perfect for this, and the yoke will go toward the bottom, and all that does is basically just help you line everything up. So it makes it a lot easier to sort of hold it and to fasten it at the same time. So I know I'm going to get in front of the camera here, but I'm going to start a screw. Alright, so once you get that first one in, it's a whole lot easier the next few. So it'll stay up sort of by itself. I don't know how these screws, they just lose themselves all over the place. But now I'll say this, we have some pretty rowdy kids, and we're using 3 screws. So if your kids are rowdier than ours, you may want to go more than 3. But so far we have not had any that has broken our other ones that we've made. Okay, so we got the front on. We're going to go ahead and do the other side. So position it where you can see it. Three more for this side. And the good thing about it is, of course, our shop dog comes in the video. It sort of holds itself up, you know. I mean, you don't have to really wrestle with it that much once you start getting some of it assembled. Okay, and if you notice right here, there's a little bit of a gap, and I'll show you what that's for later. But basically, that is where the bottom is just going to sit right in that little gap area. So now we're going to put the back on. And again, we're just using the flatness of the table here to sort of hold it in place. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not, but this is just a drill, and it does not have anything special. You know, I just have a Phillips head bit in it, and just about every bit of this that we're doing, we're going to use a Phillips head to do. Alright, so we have a box now. We have 4 sides, and what we're going to do is put the bottom on. Now, in this box, we're going to have a divider that basically keeps the front legs from the back, and also keeps the kid more toward the front of the box. So I'm just going to put this in for now. This is you know, just about all this is, I think there's 3 different pieces of plywood that we use. So the thicknesses are a little bit off, And this is not a piece of plywood, this is just a piece of lumber. You know, all this is being put together with scrap, and this side is painted, so we're gonna just put it down. But see how it just fits right in place. We're gonna put 2 screws in that we can easily take out in a bit whenever we get ready to put the divider in. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the divider. So let me go get the piece that I have cut for the divider, and I will be right back. One thing that I found with this that you have to sort of measure, or you have to sort of be precise to make sure that this works like it needs to, is putting this divider inside the box. And all this is just a piece of scrap. It's the same width as the fronts and also the bottom. So it's just going to drop right in. It's already cut to the same width. And this divider is about 3 3/8 long. So basically what this does is this goes in between the goat's front legs and back legs. It keeps the goat from backing up, so that his head will stay right here in the front. So it's really important that you get this in there, but it don't have to be in there super secure. You just want 2 screws in either side, and that'll be enough to hold it. So one trick to make this where it's really easy to measure, you know, the bottom is about the same width as this. So what we're going to do is just use this as a measuring device, and we're going to draw a line across the bottom, because this part down here is the bottom. You know, we already got it in, so we're measuring from there. So we're using just a piece of wooden stick that I cut. It's 7.5 inches, and that's what we have found works best. So basically you're going to set this in there on the bottom, and then you're going to set this piece right on top and screw it in. So we already know where the height of it, so we need to measure from the front. The height is 7.5 up through here, and we're going to do 7 inches from the front. So I've got that already marked, 7 inches right here. So we know the height, and we know the distance from here, and we have a good starting point. So use this, put it here, and we're going to go ahead and put one hole in right at the top of the stick. So, and that's just going to be more or less our pilot hole or drilling hole. So you can look inside and you can see where that's at. So it goes in just like this, and it's going to be hard to see in here, but basically we're just pushing it down into where you see that hole's at. And I've already marked inside 7 inches from here. So we know where the hole's at, we know about where it needs to be. So you just wiggle it down and then put a screw in it. We'll change back over to our Phillips head driver. You know, and if you miss, it's no big deal. Just take it back out and see where that we hit. So it's in there, so I'm going to turn it up where you can see. I don't know that you can see that very good, but basically all it is a divider. You know, the front feet will be up here, the rear feet will be at the back. So now we'll go back in, and you can nearly just eyeball the screws to see where they go. You know, we're not building super fine furniture here, so if you miss, back it out and do it again. All right, so we're going to put 4 total in there. Just more or less to hold it good. Can't believe I didn't miss that on camera. Got lucky. All right, so this one's going to be pretty easy. You know about where the height is, so we're just going straight on in. And that's got it. That is very secure. It's not going anywhere. We are locked in there. So now we can go ahead and finish with the bottom. And we've already got 2 screws in. We're just going to put a couple more screws in. One there. We'll probably do one on either side and one toward the front. All this is made out of 3/4 inch plywood. It's basically the same stuff that your kitchen cabinets are made from. So it's very durable. It's very sturdy. You know, it should last a long time. All right, now we are going to put the top on, which is here. So all it is it's basically very similar to the bottom. It just goes on flat like that. And all you're looking to do is make sure it closes, and this will keep the baby goat inside. This is I don't know if you can see that or not, but all this is, it's just a single little hinge. Lowe's, Home Depot, any of your little box stores like that will have something like this. So we just put it up. Let's see, let me make sure I got this right here. The hinge will need to go on the outside. And you might want to test it one time to make sure that, there we go, just like that. So, I don't know if you can see that good, but the hinge part sticks up, and that way, whenever we go to bolt this down or screw it down, that's right. So all you're doing is just make sure that it's, you know, you got equal amounts on either side. Open your little screw bag, get you out a couple of screws. And I like to just put one in the top and one in the bottom, and that way you can test it and make sure that you don't need to make any small adjustments. That, and then one in the top. Okay, so that should function, which it does. So we'll finish putting the screws on it, and then we can move on to the yoke. And obviously, you know, this top screw here, if you put a screw there, you'd nearly go into this lid, which, you know, we don't want to do that. So we're just going to leave that one out. These are super heavy duty hinges, so this thing will last a lifetime as long as you don't let it get exposed to the weather. Alright, so that is the lid and the hinge. It opens up just like that. So, and it's going to have a little bit of wiggle, left or right action because of the length of it. We use a little fastener to keep everything closed. I guess I should have showed you what it is. Again, this is from Lowe's. All it is just a little fastener like for a shed or something. It's got your area to attach it, which is here. It'll go like that. And then you have your, I guess this is called a clevis at the bottom here. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and attach the top section first. I don't know if you can see it or not, but my dog Samson keeps running in here trying to see what I'm doing. And he would love to be on video, but he has about a 4-foot stick in his mouth right now that he keeps banging into me every few minutes with. So, alright. And we have 2 goats that are about to kid. So we're having to, Jessica is doing the camera work. Say hello, Jessica.
Hello.
And so keeps rushing me. So so that we can run down and check. So actually, we're getting pretty close to being done. So all right, so that's just hanging, and all that does is once you know, this is set up so you can do everything by yourself as far as the dehorning. So you want to just be able to close this little latch. It's real simple. You just put it about where you think it needs to go, sort of hold it in place or mark it, flap it over, and put your screws in. This will get one screw started, and then we'll test it and make sure. And this plywood is so easy to test. It's a perfect fit. So we're going to go ahead and finish putting the other screws in. Okay, so, and it's locked. See, I mean, it has a little bit of play, I guess, but you know, once you lock this, the goat's not going to go raising his head to get out. All right, the last thing is to put the yoke on. So we're going to open this up, and here's the yoke. So again, we'll put all the listings of everything that we use in the comments, and at the end of the video we'll have a parts list and a cut list so that you can just cut this and get right to it. But I've got to find the screws, so give me 1 second. Okay, so I got the screws. They're just 3 Phillips head screws that comes with this yoke. So you just line it up, and all you want to do is just get it flush with the top. So we're just going to start one, and you could pre-drill this if you want to, but this plywood is so easy to drill into that I don't think you have to pre-drill it. But do the other, and then the last one at the bottom. Okay, that is it. And this probably took maybe an hour, even filming. It don't take long, you know, get the stuff cut. You know, if you like this, guys, please follow our channel. We're going to cut away, and I'll do the parts list and give you a link to the Caprine where we got this as well, so that you guys won't have any trouble ordering it. And it's a big help. Also, what we do is we keep all of our Disbudding stuff in here, the iron, and there's a test board that I always use, and I always keep a pair of gloves. All that stays in here, and we close it up, lock it up, and put it in storage, and then whenever we need it, we can grab it and come up. So I hope you guys got this. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or put some comments below, and like our channel. Thanks.